Yeah, that's way better.
Got a baby in a belly and a baby on a hip. Got a pink flamingo pulling on the porch. Daddy got a shotgun looking for a store. Oh Lord, and that's podunk. Don't give a flying hillbilly fuck. I said podunk. House full of youngins and a yard full of junk. Love us if you can, sorry if you can't. Holler if you win, shut up if you win. I said podunk. Bottle by the bed and a bottle sitting pretty. Pigskin on the TV, bacon in a skillet. No mud in the yard, licking on an edge. A bunch of pink flamingos flocking by the bench. Can I get a witness? And that's podunk. Don't give a flying hillbilly fuck. I said podunk. A yard full of chickens and a bar full of drums. Love us if you can, sorry if you can't. Holler if you win, shut up if you can't. I said podunk. Beverage over your head if you're batshit crazy and your neck is red. So dirt on the road where we all grew up. Sing something with me if you ain't nothing but. I said podunk. I don't give a flying hillbilly fuck. I said podunk. An house full of youngsters and a yard full of junk. Love us if you can, sorry if you can't. Holler if you win, shut up if you win. Said podunk.
That D's way better.
That's a lot better. Yeah, fuck it. What do you think? Good enough for government work?
Ah, yeah.
Please don't hear any of this, Brad.
And Dad's like, I got the fuck out of there. I was like, oh man, you didn't partake?
Do you fear death?
Oh, one of the greatest lines of all time.
I could have chopped it. I could have chopped it.
Terminator 2020.
Making me 30 sides of red sauce.
Listened to so much. Are you
That needs two, motherfucker.
You a deer hunter?
Not really anymore.
No?
I used to hunt years ago and then got out of the habit of it. Kids never got into it. Hell, all these deer out here named anyway.
Fuck, man, there's a whole field full of them down there on the dirt, right over on the dirt.
You been out yet?
Oh, yeah, I killed one Saturday.
Did you?
Killed one Saturday, and then I killed a doe opening day of bow season. So,
You do all that yourself, all the butchering? Or you take
well, I usually do. Like the doe that I killed this opening day of bow season, I butchered her all up. Fuck, I dressed her out in the field.
Did you?
And then ground her when I got home. But Saturday, I was supposed to be working on the house, right? Because we're building a house.
Mm-hmm.
I was supposed to be working on the house, so I shot one Saturday morning, and I was like, I really need to be hanging can lights.
Yeah.
So I took it to the butcher shop, picked
All right.
it up today.
So how far along the house process are you?
Oh, we're in the dry. I'm hanging can lights. The HVAC is supposed to get installed this week. Plumber was there today finishing the rough end. So we're getting there.
Fun
self-con.
experience, ain't it?
It's very nerve-wracking,
It's the
man.
most stressful
Like, I got a
thing.
buddy from Prairie Grove. Like, that's what he does for a living, right? He's a general contractor. And he, builds houses for other people. And I told him here a while back, I was like, I don't know how you do it, man.
Yeah.
Like, to have multiple projects going on. I mean, I know how hard it is for me just coordinating, just my own house. I can't imagine doing it for somebody else.
Yeah.
It's nerve-wracking to me. And maybe it wouldn't be if you didn't have skin in the game. You know what I mean? Or like,
Right. Yeah, you want it right. You want it done right
Yeah.
the first time. It's a nerve-wracking experience.
yeah,
I don't even know how people afford to do that shit anymore right now. The interest rates the way they are. I mean,
I
it's
know.
it's a time.
I know. We're fortunate because we didn't have to buy the land. Right? I mean, her mom and dad gave her.
How much land are you on out there?
Well, her land obviously it joins her parents' land. Her parents have like 240, 260,
Nice.
and they gave her 20 acres.
Nice.
So-
that's just the right amount too.
Yeah. So that's where we're building out there.
It's a lot of work cutting up trees and down, deadfalls and all that shit.
Well, we built right in the middle of the woods too.
Did you?
So before we could ever do anything, there was a
Yeah.
lot of tree cutting, dozing, pushing,
Well, that'll
burning.
be nice. I think that's
Yep.
awesome.
Yeah, we won't I won't even own a lawnmower.
Yeah.
I mean, we won't have no grass we're in the middle of the woods.
There you go.
So,
That's not nice in West Fork.
mhm.
You glad to be getting out that way?
Oh,
Again?
dude,
You
I want
miss
to
it
get
up
out.
that way?
Oh yeah, I always want to be in some place I can piss off my back porch.
Yeah.
I can't do that where I'm at in the subdivision.
Yeah.
I'm not built for subdivision living.
Yeah, I get it. How long you been in sub?
It's 3 years this month.
3 years?
Yep. I always tell people when they like, hey, come over to the house, okay, what street you live on? Tell them what street I live on. I said, just look for the race cars and the boats and the four-wheelers in the front yard.
Yeah.
That's this guy.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, I've always had free,
Yeah.
like big acres where I could just park it wherever I wanted to, and now I'm in a subdivision, so I like literally my race cars parked in the front yard, my pontoon boats in the front yard, my four-wheelers in the yard.
Yeah.
I'm sure my neighbors will not be sad when I move out.
They won't. When are you expecting to move in?
We really don't have an expected
No.
move-in date. No, it's ASAP, but
Yeah.
we don't have a target date. Just because, again, like I've never built a house, neither has
Yeah.
she, so it's like we don't really know what to expect as far as how long each step takes, right? You're always waiting on somebody,
Everything going smoothly as far as the builder goes and everything?
There was some snafus with the plumber that did the plumbing in the slab. Like because we did just a monolithic pour, right?
Yeah.
It's a like a barn dominium,
Right.
and the plumber that so the builder that we hired him, and he came in. He was responsible for the under slab plumbing, the concrete, and then getting it in the dry, and then he's done. And that's when I take over for all of the other, everything else. Well, he hired a contractor. The builder, he didn't have like a staff plumber or anybody that he usually does, so he just hired somebody, right?
Gotcha.
And some of the in slab plumbing was off by
Enough.
30 inches. Like the vanity in the master bath, the plumbing for the master bath vanity was inside the master bedroom by 30 inches.
Wow.
Which under normal circumstances it wouldn't be that big a deal. Just dig, saw cut it, move it.
Yeah.
Well, we're not having any floor coverings.
Right.
It was going to be all stained concrete.
Oh, really?
Stained concrete throughout the whole entire
Yeah.
house. There's no carpet, there's no tile, there's no
Yeah.
hardwood, there's no laminate, no nothing. It's
Yeah.
stained concrete.
Someone
So now they ended up fixing it. The builder took care of it. He got them back out there to fix it. But now I have a hole in the master bedroom that's got to be patched, which is obviously going to show from now on.
Yeah.
In the grand scheme of things, not that big a deal. But 30 fucking inches you missed it by? I mean, they had a full set of prints, right? I mean, they got plans. I can see it if you missed it by 3 inches. I would have scooted the wall over 3 inches.
Sure.
You missed it by 30.
That's
So now I have a big fucking hole in the master bedroom.
that's frustrating.
So, other than that, it's been pretty good
It's a
experience.
story though.
Yeah.
I guess.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so you're gonna stain it? You said.
Yeah.
What's the stain look like?
Uh,
Is it just a colored stain,
yeah,
or is it
yeah.
like
It's they come in the guy that's going to do it. They come in and they grind it. They grind the
Yeah.
floor, and then they take basically it's acid stain in
Yeah.
a garden sprayer, like a pump sprayer.
Yeah.
And they just stain it in a regular pattern,
Yeah.
right? And once that cures out, then they come back and they mirror polish it.
Okay.
So
It'll look nice.
Yeah.
In the big giant fucking
Oh.
hole you got.
we had it quoted, and I had never pursued I didn't know what that was going to cost, right?
Yeah.
So I just hit up the first dude I seen on Facebook that did concrete staining and polishing,
Really?
and I told him the square footage. He gave me the quote. It was like, there's no other cheaper option. You couldn't put carpet in the whole house for what they'll do that stained concrete.
Right.
You couldn't do any other floor covering. Well,
Yeah.
maybe some linoleum,
Linoleum.
but yeah, it was way cheaper than I anticipated.
That kind of weird. The stuff that used to be used in the 80s and 90s that used don't like wallpaper.
Wallpaper.
Is it coming back?
I don't not for me. It's
Somebody
not.
was telling me they thought it was coming back. I don't know about all that. I don't see
There's
it
no
coming back.
floral anything gonna happen in this house. Now,
Wallpaper, laminate flooring. What's that shit they put on counters?
Formica.
Formica.
Formica. Yeah.
I got Formica out here.
Yeah. No Formica for us. It's
No,
granite.
All granite.
All
Yeah,
granite.
We went granite next door. You know, Formica's time tested though.
It
That
is.
shit lasts.
Yeah, it is.
It's just wild to me. And you know, people are always looking to like improve their house and upgrade shit. It's so funny because I feel like sometimes you just go full circle and shit comes back around. If you do nothing, just let it roll.
Just let it roll around.
That wood paneling's gonna
Yeah.
come back one of these days.
Man, I don't know. I don't know
fucking
about the
love
wood paneling. Do you really?
Oh, I love
No
it.
way.
I like dark. Yeah,
See, I'm not. I'm totally
No.
opposite from that.
really.
No, I don't want it dark. I want it like when you walk in my house, you better have some sunglasses because I want it. I like it
Really?
super
You like it
illuminated.
bright?
Yeah,
See,
very
I like
illuminated.
a darker. Okay, that's
More dungeon cave style is what I think when you say that.
I like a dungeon
No,
cave.
uh-uh.
Is this your dream house or is this like you want to kick it down the road?
No. I mean, yeah, I think so.
You think so?
I think so. Yeah, I think it is. I mean, obviously, it's one of those things. It's 2,000 square feet, which, for a family of 4, that's plenty, right? I don't know that I'd want it any bigger.
Yeah.
Maybe designed a little different. I don't know. I don't know what.
There's
I've
so
never
many
really.
possibilities.
I never really thought about like what would my dream house be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You can't afford it anyway, so it doesn't even matter.
Well, maybe I can because maybe this is it.
Maybe.
I'll be honest with you, man. Like I've told the missus this. So when I was going through the divorce, like I lived in my camper trailer for a long time.
Yeah.
And it was at that point is when I realized how little you really do need to survive.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't need 2,000 square. 4 people don't need 2,000 square feet.
Not at all.
My mom and dad, they got rid of their house, considerably downsized, and they bought a portable building. And my mom and dad live in a portable building.
Yeah.
It's 480 square feet, and it is absolutely everything they need.
Yeah.
They have a full kitchen. They have every appliance that you have or that I'll have in this new house.
Yep.
They have a king-size bed in their bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And it's 480 square feet.
I'm telling you, man, living out here.
And it's paid for.
Yeah, absolutely. People go way overboard on space. I never did understand it
I don't either.
because it's so expensive. But
It
you
is.
really don't need. I mean, we lived in this building for 5
I was
years.
fixing to say, y'all lived in this one.
Yeah. I mean, was it stressful time? Sure. But I mean, kids learn to play outside.
But anyway, I had that graphic realization one day. It's like, I've been living in a camper trailer for months and months. And I'm okay. I just
I actually
literally
like that kind of living. It's simple.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about it, most of the time you're either sitting down anyway.
Yeah.
In front of a TV or in a bed, dinner table.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're not running laps in the living room.
No, you're not running labs. And people, a lot of the reason I think people want so much space is to store useless shit they don't need.
I'm not that way.
No, you pretty utilitarian.
Uh-huh. I don't keep stuff to use it later.
Okay, you're not a hoarder.
No, not even a little bit.
Okay.
Well, because I'm one of the, like, I've thought about this. If I keep if I don't know where it's at, then I'm going to go buy new.
Sure.
Right? So I'm not going to keep it thinking I'm going to use it later when I know damn good and well that 2 years later, if I go to look for that, I don't even have a freaking clue where it's at, so I'm going to go Lowe's and buy it.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I don't keep useless shit around.
So you been following any election stuff since? You've been following the cabinet choices?
Oh yeah.
Did he pick Rubio for Secretary of State?
I haven't. No, the only ones that I know that he picked was the guy for the border.
Yeah.
What's his name? Starts with an H.
Yeah. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I've seen him around before. He seems like a pretty grizzled dude.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't take a lot of shit.
Oh no. No, the excerpt I seen was when AOC was asking him about separating families.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not going to separate them.
Yeah.
I'm going to send them all back.
Them all back together. Yeah, I saw that too. It's just, what a wild 4 years we went through, man. So I remember, I'll never forget my buddy Drew, sending me a link to a YouTuber. It was an archive link in October of 2019, who was basically talking about how China, he had somebody he knew in China or something, and that there was this virus that had gotten loose in Wuhan, and that they hadn't shut down the airports, and it was going to be coming over to the U.S. This is in October 19, and I'm like, this is kind of fucked up, right? And then, so he's really following this stuff close, and he's sending on me these links of YouTubers that are getting canceled, and it was obvious as day. Like, these channels are getting pulled down
because
for
of
saying this. Well, I'm asking all these other, have you heard anything about a virus? Anything about a virus? And then December there were some reports, and then of course by March everybody's working from home. It's a lockdown.
Sure.
By March, so that was my first like real foray into following politics hard. Was that COVID shit, all the lies, and just the censoring of any information about it.
And at what point when X number of things become true, are you not a conspiracy theorist anymore?
I don't know, man. But it's like, there are people, 5 years into this thing, people would ask my opinion on something, I give it to them, like, I don't know about that. I'm like, man, I'm 572 and 0 in the last 5 years. I've gotten it all right.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but maybe I'm listening to some of the right people. But they got everything wrong on that shit.
Yeah.
And you're just watching. I remember when it went to the Supreme Court for the whether or not the entire country had to get vaccinated. Just thinking, this is nuts. This is about as hard of a power grab as I've ever seen.
Yeah. I'm vax free, by the way. And I'm really glad.
Amen, brother. Same here.
Because I tested positive for COVID twice.
Yeah.
And I know people died from it.
Yeah,
you know
certainly.
what I mean? Like I do. I know people personally that died from it.
Yeah.
Or let me rephrase that. I know people that died during that time that they blamed it on COVID.
Sure.
Okay. When I tested positive for COVID, it was nothing more than a sniffle.
Right.
I had to stay home from work for 7 days,
It was
which
a
I
cold.
deer hunted 7 days in a row.
Yeah.
Because I felt good enough. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I'm vax free, and I was at the point, like, I would have dug my heels in hard over that. I would have dug my
Same.
heels in hard over that.
But what actually surprised me is how many people bitched about it and said, no, I'm not going to do this. This is wrong. And then just got in line and did it.
Yeah.
Because it was the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I was surprised there was not much more pushback on all that.
There was a few people in my inner circle that took it that I would have lost $1,000 bet, right? But their job depended on it.
Yeah. I get it when you start messing with a man's income.
I know, but
That was what was so awful about it.
I'd already made it up in my mind that I would have lost my job over it. I really would have.
Yeah.
I was that scared of it. Just because of the way it came about.
It was the lie. It was all the lies surrounding it before. Yeah, it just miraculously appeared. There were no long-term studies. You can't promise something safe that you've only been fucking around with for a little bit.
Yeah.
So I know you're lying about that.
Yeah.
As far as effective goes, I don't really need it, so I don't care if it's effective. But the safe part, I know you're lying on.
Yeah, I saw, who was it the other day, had posted a video about the ivermectin.
Yeah.
Not ivermectin. Yep.
That's the treatment for
Yeah.
what Rogan
Now
was
they're
taking.
yeah, it was Rogan. That's
Yeah.
who was talking about it. Yeah. Which I did take ivermectin when I tested positive for it.
Yeah. But how nuts that they went after this drug.
Yeah.
Like it was the most awful thing.
I know.
They went after Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
And honestly, if you go back to one moment in the last 5 years when I think the narrative really slid off the tracks, it was when Rogan talked about taking ivermectin and CNN went after him.
Yeah.
And they tinted his skin green and they made him look like a crazy person when he was literally taking a medicine that treated COVID effectively. And it's like, I think at that time, the media still was so arrogant that they thought, we're bigger than this little podcast, or we're just going to crush this guy and it'll go away. What didn't factor in was how many fucking people listen.
I was fixing to say, I'd be willing to bet that more people tune into Joe Rogan on a single day than any CNN broadcast.
Well, that's what I'm trying to lead this to. Do you think we've seen the stranglehold broken from the mainstream media?
Absolutely. This last election proves that
100%.
Yeah. You pumped.
It's done.
Yeah, I agree. That was the biggest FU to mainstream media in our lifetime.
And absolutely. I've never seen anything. I've seen 5 years of straight shit I've never seen before.
Yeah.
I mean, this has been unprecedented like anything ever. I didn't follow the first presidency much. I didn't vote in it. It was Hillary and Trump, and I was like, I don't fucking know. I'm not going to vote for Hillary. Trump seems like he's kind of doing this as a troll. I don't know. He might be good. He might be crazy. Who knows?
Yeah.
But then you start watching him once he gets into office. I was like, man, I like a lot of what he's doing with one hand tied behind his back, too. He had the Republicans against him.
Yeah.
He had the machine against him. And I back then I still believed in the idea of left and right, which I think still distracts people. But these people in power don't care about that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? I think they're just there for the money. The control.
We had to, when you say that about left and right, we had this conversation the other night about, I wish the Libertarian Party was bigger on the scene.
So do I, because I am very much opposed to a lot of what the right does.
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
In
fact, there's a reason I was a Democrat for so long. It was because the right was so authoritarian.
Yeah.
When I was growing up.
Yeah, we had this conversation.
Yeah, I know we've talked about it. I mean, I couldn't listen to metal music, anything, that if the lead singer looked evil, it was evil. So no Marilyn Manson, no Metallica, none of that stuff. It was just, and I get it. I get why that oppressive kind of, but that's, oppression is not left or right mentality. Authoritarianism is control, and that's not a left or right thing.
I'm just talking about singular policies, though.
Oh, you're talking about just okay.
Well, I'm talking about singular, it's abortion or anti-abortion.
Okay.
I'm in the middle.
Yeah.
If you want to have an abortion, go ahead.
Yeah.
Doesn't affect me. I don't have a say.
Right.
I shouldn't have a say what you do.
Right.
Right? If you want to own a howitzer to park in your backyard with the ammo to supply it, as long as it doesn't negatively affect me.
Sure.
Right? But that's not typical Republican ideology, right?
Well, no, but it's all that you're not a hugely religious guy, though, are you?
No.
See, neither am I, and that's the difference. I think is the abortion thing is God says all life is sacred, so therefore it's our duty to protect life at all costs.
But I am
You are what?
protecting life that
Sure.
I'm capable of protecting.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That you're capable of protecting, but you got to let go what other people are going to choose to do.
It's not.
Right. That's a libertarian attitude.
Yeah.
A lot of people on the right want to control what other people are
Right.
doing because it's wrong.
That's why I said all that to say that is
Yeah.
I wish the libertarian was a bigger because they're less government,
Yes.
right? Which I'm all for,
I am too.
right? But then on the same hand, it's like gay marriage. How that doesn't affect me in one. If two dudes want to get married,
Absolutely.
it affects
zero.
me. It affects me this much.
I don't care if they adopt.
If you love
they're
each
safe,
other
yeah.
so much that you want to get the government involved, marry each other.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect. So
You're welcome to the same hell the rest of us are welcome to. Have at it.
So
Yeah.
to say that I was, staunchly Republican is not an accurate statement.
Well, somebody, yes, I've seen all these things from people on the left right now bitching about the gloating and the nastiness, and it's like, man, y'all were pretty nasty for 4 years. I got called racist, misogynist, woman hater, any name in the book because I supported a political candidate.
Yeah.
Called all of that stuff, and that's fine because it's not true, so it doesn't bother me. But now I'm seeing a lot of whining and a lot of victim mentality. Don't come after me. I'm not coming after anybody.
That's one
And
thing.
I don't think most people are, but I'm just sick of needless division.
Right. That's what I was
Why
saying.
are we posting
That's
shit
that's
now?
exactly what I was fixing to say. Like,
Yeah, say it,
you want
brother.
you want to argue about something? Let's argue about something that's more important than politics. You and I will, we have a good friend, a mutual friend that is very far left.
Yeah.
And we can sit on this couch and we can have a great we're not going to fight about that. We know we have differences.
There's no reason
in
to.
opinion. It's still an opinion.
It still is.
If we're
It's
going
a
to
wrong
fight,
opinion. But
we're going to have a difference
yeah,
of opinion, but
yeah, sure.
we're not going to fight about it.
no,
We're not going to fight
no,
about it.
it's not that important to me.
No, absolutely not. If you want to fight about something, Coke tastes better than Pepsi, right? That's a legitimate argument, but
Man, it's so funny. I'll go to lunch with guys, and they'll get that. Is Pepsi okay? And they'll get so pissed. No, absolutely not. Anything else? And then there's the one or two that'll be like, yeah, that's fine. I'm one of those. It's like if they don't have Coke, I'll get a Pepsi. I do prefer Coke, but the attitude of some. My mom's that way too. It's like if there's no Coke in here, then don't even fucking try a Pepsi on me. I ain't letting that slide.
and that's the same
don't get
mentality
that.
that people have come out politics.
Yeah. Yeah, they ain't
You
that different.
But by comparison, if Kamala would have won the election, I would have been the same way about ordering a Coke and they only having Pepsi. I'd have been disappointed, but I'd have drank the motherfucker, and life would have went right on.
Let's fucking move on.
Yeah.
It's popular vote. There's no shenanigans this time. It's above board. Let's fucking go.
You said popular vote.
Yeah.
Let's go back 4 years.
Yeah.
Where did those other 15 million votes come from?
Still trying to figure that shit out. Have you seen that chart?
Oh yeah.
Where it
oh yeah.
pops and
oh yeah.
goes right back to where
Oh yeah.
I always thought there were shenanigans. I always believed Trump in that, but and everybody says, "Well, where's the evidence? Where are the court cases?" Do you think a judge in his right mind in this country is going to be the guy that says, "Yeah,
Nope.
it was stolen"?
Nope.
No fucking way.
No, because he would unalive himself very shortly after.
Yes, he would. And you're admitting that all these doubts and flaws with the system are actually there, just
Yeah.
like you knew they were there.
That was one of your 350 conspiracy theories that you were up to that are now right.
It's wild. If you listen to the right people and you get your information from people that you can trust, which is not the mainstream media. For me, it's podcasters, and for me, it's almost exclusively comedians. I love the approach because they're just trying to find what's funny,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
There's a little bit of they don't take it too seriously,
Yeah.
so you're not going to piss them off too bad, and they're just trying to find the funny angle, and I trust that. I trust a guy whose job it is to tell the joke.
Yeah.
Who's trying to, what's funny in all this? And if you listen to these guys long enough and you watch this campaign, it got pretty silly. And it got pretty obvious who was, I think, the better choice. I mean, the Kamala campaign was just... And I felt sympathy for that woman. I felt sorry for him. I know there's a lot of people on the right that think there's no fucking...
Sympathy...
empathy, redemption, anything for these people.
Like
but
she was a patsy, or...
Yeah, I think she was being used.
Yeah.
I think she got in over her head in the political game, and then just... She wasn't allowed to make decisions.
Yeah.
You know? If she'd have really wanted to go on Rogan, all she would have had to say is yes, but... I mean, Donald Trump's obviously making his own decisions. Ain't nobody telling that motherfucker what to do.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean... People are talking about on the left, like, you know, it was the Rogan interview, her not doing the Rogan interview. I don't even know if that helped Trump, because the next night he was headlining Madison Square Garden.
Right.
And everybody forgot about the Rogan interview. He was hitting, and then like the night after that, or was that the night? That was the night he did the whole dump truck thing, which completely eclipsed the Rogan interview. And then he did something even after that. Oh, I gotta put something in the oven real quick.
Okay.
So domesticated.
I gotta piss.
Yeah.
My next beer, I want to do it.
Lime?
Yeah. I've never used this kind. We always just squeeze a fresh...
Yeah, you squeeze a fresh one. Yeah, I started doing this just because...
Only in Michelob Ultra. I just never thought it would fit with the Natty Light.
I'm telling you, dude. It's universal. And it's a whole lot... I started with the regular limes, too. But I just wasn't getting a lot of juice out of a lime. Those are like $1 a piece.
For the bottle? Here?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Just put a little spruce in there. I like it.
Oh, yeah. We always have limes.
Anything you can do to enhance beer drinking, I'm all for.
Ice is the best thing I found yet.
No? That Natty Light, I tell you what, it won't let you down.
Is that an Anheuser-Busch product? It is.
Yeah, I do miss the hunting cans. Stillwell brings over those Busch Light cans.
The Busch Light hunting cans,
Yeah.
I know.
And the fishing cans. I do miss those.
But I sure do like the value.
Oh, the value tops all. The value tops all.
Is that adequate?
Yeah, I like to put a little bit more in, but I mean...
I'm going to go light on my first.
Go light on your first one, and then...
I feel like we're doing drugs now.
I know.
Just, hey,
Yeah.
go light on your first one.
We'll get a backup bottle here.
Oh, yeah, you got a reserve bottle.
Oh yeah, I keep them all over now. I'm in on this lime thing, dude. I tell you. Might be an acquired taste.
No, it's not that.
No?
It's take it or leave it. I like it. I also like it raw.
Sure.
I don't know that it's worth having to carry extra, other than just...
Yeah, no, unless you're home and you just have it around you, I wouldn't be going to too many lengths. I mean, I got one in the car, but...
Well, I got one on the nightstand, one in the car,
one in the shower,
2 in the shower. Yeah.
Yeah, you know. So, you know Alex Jones having to auction off all his InfoWars stuff?
Yes.
Which I think is bullshit. I don't understand how CNN's still on the air if he can't get one thing wrong about a school shooting, but they can literally lie for just an indefinite amount of period of time.
Right.
And I do believe he legitimately got it wrong. I don't think he...
Yeah, I do too. I think you got it wrong.
Yeah, I don't think... And I'll go a step further.
But you know what? CNN got the Hunter laptop. They got it wrong too.
Yeah. So why are they still operating?
Right.
See, I don't understand why there's different schedules of justice depending on what side of the aisle you're on.
We may be comparing apples to oranges though, because like what Alex Jones did, he went up against personal people's
Sure.
accounts.
Sure.
where
families
yeah,
who were suffering because they lost their children.
yeah.
So does CNN not owe anything to the people who were losing loved ones? I mean, telling people that they were, I don't know. I feel like there were a lot of lies, and there was a lot of, it wasn't even necessarily the media. It was the guys like Fauci who were making these arbitrary rules. You can't see your grandma before she passes.
Yeah.
You know, people missed out on seeing their loved ones during COVID.
True.
Because they, whatever.
There are some laterals, I guess, yeah.
I just think it was I think it was one of the worst hoaxes perpetrated on the American people ever. And to me, Sandy Hook, yeah, it was a bad deal to get wrong, but there's some shady shit going on with all that too. Like if you get on Rumble, I mean, there's some documentaries that talk about how they FEMA was doing like some active shooter drills at that location in the days before. I'm not saying any of it's not what happened. I mean, those parents look like they lost their children. I'm not doubting that, but still know why he can just get it wrong. You know all the
and be held liable for it.
Right.
I mean, I can say
it's not like he can.
I can say whatever I want to in this mic,
Mm-hmm.
and he did too.
Mm-hmm.
So why is he held responsible for it?
That's what I don't understand, because he ain't the only one.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to minimize. I mean, that's the most awful thing I could ever imagine is losing a child.
Oh yeah.
In any capacity, let alone you send them to school.
Right.
Right. And Max is in Farmington now, and every day we're getting messages. I got a message today from an school that it's the second message I've received of this caliber in the last week, but it basically
From
said,
the school.
Yeah. I'll read it to you. Yeah, so it says, we initiated a shelter in place at 2 p.m. at Folsom Elementary. A few students reported seeing someone suspicious around the maintenance shed with a possible weapon. I mean, what a world we're in, where parents are getting notified of suspicious people and having to lock down schools.
For a suspicious weapon.
Is that a bullshit report? Probably. But how many times is it not? Nowadays. I mean, we had guns in our car with the door unlocked when we were in
I may have told you this story about, like, I went to Winslow, and every day at lunch, so the school at the time, we had a huge front step, right? And,
I know the step.
You've seen it.
Yeah.
So every day at lunch, all of the high school students, after lunch, would sit on the step and wait for the bell to ring.
Yep.
One day, the principal at the time, the high school principal, he would come out, mingle with the common folk, right? So he sat down right beside me, and my truck was sitting across the parking lot. You could see it from the steps. He said, "Hey, Stokes," he said, "what's that hanging in the back glass of that truck?" I said, "My deer rifle." He said, "What is it?" And I said, "Well, it's actually really neat." I said, it's my grandpa's old military rifle that has been modernized." And he's like, "Well, go get it." So I walk across the parking lot, grab a deer rifle with a round chambered in it.
Yeah.
I unloaded it, took it across, up the steps. There's, 60, 80 students sitting out on the front steps, hand the rifle to the principal, and he's looking it over, looking through the scope, looking across the state highway.
Yeah.
And I was like, if that were to happen today,
Oh, my God.
I mean, they'd call the National Guard.
Oh, sure.
I mean, but in 1996, 95 to 97, somewhere in there, it was like the high school principal sitting on the front steps with a deer rifle with all the students around looking through the scope, checking this rifle out. Can you imagine if that happened today?
No, I can't. It's so wild to think that, like our grandparents didn't grow up that differently from our parents, who didn't grow up really that differently from we did. And then you look at the last 20 years, and it's like, where's the world even gone?
Yeah.
It's like it's completely flipped upside down.
Yeah.
Growing up in the 80s and, our grandparents were still young. They were influential in our lives. They were still working in the 80s. It's just technology and, what's the word? I want to be careful about this. Femininity, largely, or empathy. We've become so empathetic and so caring about everything that we've gotten really soft. I feel like dudes and boys. No, the kids shouldn't be kids, but we've become a nation who has nothing to fear anymore. You know, you can't bully anybody. You can't.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like our kids are just being taught that everything's great and everything's wonderful, and there's. I feel like we're just not teaching our kids the lessons they need to be prepared. For the real world.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
And it's unfortunate. Nobody wants to be abusive to their kids or have to punish their kids, but by God, you have to.
Yeah.
You know, and I know a lot of parents who it's easier to just not deal with it. Not even address it, let alone address it and not be hard. Like, I've got to have some hard conversation with my boys because they're boys. They're going to push that line as far as, you know, I'll allow them to push it. And they need to know damn well where it is. But I know a lot of parents who are just, it's just not worth the fight.
I'm guilty of that.
We all are.
I really am. You know, I'm mechanically inclined, right? You know, I work mechanic, cars, you know, boats, dirt bikes, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And my son couldn't change a tire on his truck.
Yeah.
I didn't teach him to do that. It was easier for me just to do it. You know what I mean? And it's like, looking back now, I did him a disservice.
Yeah, but a lot of that...
You know, I know you spoke to that here recently about, you know, your kids.
Yeah.
Just go change that tire.
Yeah.
My son couldn't do that.
But that's not the case with Max, my oldest one.
Yeah.
He never showed any interest in it, and I never forced it. But the little ones wanted to.
Yeah.
And so I was eager to show him, but I didn't really force it with him.
Yeah.
And I think our parents and our grandparents, they did because they needed help. If you're building a fence or something, you know, you had to help build a fence.
Yeah.
Now we're so rich, just hire somebody to do it.
Sure.
You know, things have gotten a lot easier.
Well, and I'm not a good teacher either, right? Like,
sure.
Hey, get the fuck out of the way. I'll do that. You know what I mean? I'll change the oil in your truck. Just
sure.
I'm not even gonna show you how to do it. Just get out of the way.
Yeah.
I'll change brakes.
There's something to be said about it. It's just easier to do it myself.
Yeah.
But then you got how many millions of kids who are going out in the real world and they don't know how to do shit.
I know.
We didn't know how to do shit, but we at least had some tools to help us a little bit. Now I feel like kids don't even know how to balance a check. Well, shit, you don't even have to.
You don't
anymore.
have to balance a checkbook anymore.
You don't even have to anymore.
Mm-mm.
It's so different. How old are your twins?
21.
They're 21 now.
21.
So
Yep.
they've been out for a little bit.
Yeah.
How do you feel like they're doing as far as integrating into the world?
So my daughter, she still lives with her mama, but my son moved out recently. Him and his girlfriend, they got their own place, and they're doing really well.
Yeah.
They're doing really well. You know, you never know. You never know. Like I told him, when I said when he decided to move out, I said, anything you need for your new house, I'll help you out. If you need, which I did. I bought him a couch. I bought him a refrigerator, appliances. I bought him everything. I said, I'll help you out with things I can touch, tangible material.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't come to me for rent money.
Yeah.
Right? If you blew it all on, buying vapes and shit, don't come to me for rent money. I'll help you out, buy any, and I did.
Yeah.
We fully furnished his kitchen, all that stuff. And for their 21st birthday, both the kids, we decided we were going to go to the casino.
All right.
Because that's what they want to do. And so for their birthday, I gave them both $100. I said, we'll go to the casino. I'll give you $100. I'll give your sister $100, and we'll just go gamble at the casino one night. So we went, and my son, who's now on his own, he poked some money in a machine, and boom, he was up like $180. Like in the first 20 minutes we're there. And so he's just kind of walking around, standing around, and I'm like, what are you doing, bud? Let's win some money. He's like, nope. That, he said, I won whatever it was, $180. I was like, play that money. He's like, nope. That's the light bill and the water bill. He said, I'm not putting another dime in these machines. And I was like, hey, you know what? That's a little sign of maturity.
No,
right
that's
there.
a real sign of maturity.
Now, my daughter, she ended up winning some money too, but she doesn't have bills like her brother does. But I was really proud of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like today's your birthday celebration, and you're like, nope, that'll pay the light bill and the water bill next month.
Good for him though. That's one thing I've just never been interested in is gambling.
No,
Nah.
I like it. I
I
enjoy
got
it.
all the other vices, but I'll play poker because I know I have some control over it. Like if I'm going to lose, I'm going to lose.
Yeah.
And I know you really, poker is going to get everybody eventually. But at least I have it's not just completely random.
Yeah.
There's some skill to it. So I do enjoy poker, but as far as just going in and spending money on slots and stuff or craps, I can't do it.
Yeah. I enjoy it.
Well, there's also
But like I explained to my children, before you ever walk into the casino or to the horse track or wherever you're going,
know how much you can afford to lose.
you take whatever you're taking and set it on that table and light it on fire. And if you're okay with that,
Yeah.
then we're good.
Yeah, exactly.
And you never ever go back to the ATM after the first time.
No,
Never.
you gotta have
You go to the
that rule,
ATM once, get whatever you're willing to play,
and that's it.
and that's it. Don't ever go back to the ATM again.
Did you end up going down the issue 2 rabbit hole anymore?
No.
I didn't vote on it.
Hey, you know what? Hey, Nicole. I just skipped over that one.
left that
I
one
left it
alone.
blank. Left it blank. No, I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't.
I just like you said on that when we were on that other podcast. Like that's in Polk County. I don't give a fuck what goes on in Polk
Fuck
County.
What they do in Polk.
I couldn't care less what they do in Polk County.
No,
They can have one casino, or they can have one in every gas station. It doesn't affect me negatively.
no. No, I like what you were saying earlier about the Libertarian Party because I identify as a Libertarian.
Yeah.
But the party sucks.
Yeah.
Like they voted Chase Oliver in as the presidential candidate, who is I don't see any difference between him and woke left ideology. I really don't know why he's even in the Libertarian Party, but they have got a lot of great ideas, and I think they're the best balance between the two.
Yeah.
They just don't have good leadership.
No.
Neither did the RNC. The RNC had some terrible leadership. Shit, so does the DNC. Got some bad leaders in place. But I don't know if you remember when Vivek Ramaswamy was debating Nikki Haley and Chris Christie and Doug Burnham. God, it
Yes.
feels like forever ago
That
now.
does feel like forever ago, but yeah, I
But
know
he
exactly.
made the call for Ron McDaniel to step down from the RNC.
Yeah.
Hey, he was the only one to make that claim, and sure as shit. And they got Laura Trump in there and whoever other dude is. I know they're co-RNCs, but they ran a nearly perfect campaign. I will never forget this campaign because it was so different than anything. 2020 was weird because it was COVID.
Who ran the perfect campaign?
Trump.
Oh, yeah.
The Trump campaign. Like,
Okay.
they just could do no wrong there in the last 3 months.
Yeah.
I mean, the podcasts, the McDonald's thing,
The garbage truck.
the garbage truck. I mean, it's just so... And all the memes about, the American dream is still alive. 2 weeks ago, this guy was serving fries at McDonald's. Now he's the president. Obviously not the case. But it just sends that message that he's willing to do whatever.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you heard the story he told about the when he was wearing the jacket for the fire or the dump truck thing, where they said it made him look thin. That's why he wore it. Did you see that whole
No,
bit?
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, he was like
the safety
he
vest?
posed for the picture, right? And he's back in the car and he says, "Give me my jacket." And they're like, "Well, sir, we'd like you to wear the vest." And he says, "I'm not wearing this vest at a rally. Get me my jacket." And they said, "Well, sir, it makes you look very thin." And I said, "Oh, really? Maybe I will wear it." So he goes out there because they flattered him. And he's joking, right? But he's doing a comedy bit about this. And that's why all the Rogan guys loved him so much.
Yeah.
Because they're like, this guy's a comedian.
Yeah.
And these guys are comedians. And they're pulling up videos and watching Trump's timing. I remember watching Protect Our Parks with Joe Rogan and Shane Gillis, 6 months ago. And these guys are analyzing his rallies and like the timing, like the comedy and stuff. And he's funny.
Yeah, he is funny.
If you have a sense of humor, he's hilarious.
Yeah.
I just
But then there's people that don't get that humor.
Well, it's funny the people who don't get his humor and the humor that they do get.
Yeah.
Because it's almost identical. It's just not him doing it.
Right. That's what I was alluding to.
I know it is. I'm just trying to flesh it out a little more. I wish we could just stop both sides. Let's just stop the division. You know, I supported Joe Biden as president. I don't think he won the election. But, hey, he was put into office, and I didn't want him to fail.
But he did.
He did fail. He failed
He did
miserably,
fail.
and it was embarrassing. But I didn't want him to fail. I wanted him to succeed. I wanted him to make this country look fucking awesome.
Yeah, and he didn't.
But I don't feel like there's a lot of people that are wanting Trump to succeed right now. And that is a problem.
I am.
You are wanting him to?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
want him to succeed.
All of us do. Well, all of us voted for him. But I guess what I'm trying to say is when Biden won in 2020, large part the people I knew on the right put their head down and said, all right, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
That's what it is. There's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah.
So can we have that same, let's just support our president, regardless of what side he was on, and support the people that voted for him? And
No, we're shaving our heads and vowing not to have sex anymore.
yeah, that's what I'm seeing on social media now. Is we're not having sex with men because they voted for Trump, and I've seen a lot of personal friends putting out nasty shit. Man, it's like, man, you're bitching about division on one hand, and then you're posting divisive shit.
Yeah.
While you're doing that, let's get it on down the line.
Yeah.
We got a real opportunity here. This isn't just a win for Trump. This is a win for Democrats. If anybody who liked RFK and was supporting RFK, this motherfucker's going to get free run of Washington.
Yeah, he is.
If anybody, any of you tech bros out there supporting Elon Musk and this space race to get to the fucking Mars, what an exciting time in our life that Trump's going to get rid of a lot of these regulations. Elon was talking about how anytime a rocket lands, he gets fined thousands of dollars for how much water is expelled onto the ground. Government regulations. So it costs him thousands of dollars for, water that cools the rocket. If it hits the soil in Texas, they're fined for that. So, yeah, there's all kinds of just ridiculous regulations.
We have a little bit of that, kind of veering off course here, but we have a little bit of that in my business.
Sure.
So I'm in the pipeline business, right?
Yeah.
And so we have to pressure test those. We have to hydro test those pipelines before we put them in service.
Yeah.
We have to pay somebody to come in, pull that water out of the pipeline, put it in a tanker, and then go dispose of it at an approved facility.
Right.
You can't just dump it on the ground. It's just fucking water.
Fucking water, dude. It comes out of the sky.
It's just water. But, so, again, government regulation.
Yeah.
EPA.
Absolutely. Yep.
EPA.
EPA.
You can't just take the water out of that pipeline and dump it on the ground. That's illegal.
No.
We have to pay somebody to haul it off to an approved facility and get rid of it.
It's almost like the mafia.
It's just fucking water.
It's like the mafia, dude.
So
They charge you to protect you here. They charge you for this and that. I mean, it's a racket.
Yeah.
That's what our government is. I mean, if Elon can cut, what did he cut? 75% of the Twitter salaries?
Oh, yeah.
The overhead was
Yeah.
somewhere in the 75%.
Yeah.
And they're doing better than ever. Could you imagine doing that with the federal government? Because
Yeah, maybe my tax burden wouldn't be 24 freaking percent.
Well, you know damn well, somebody who follows it, these omnibus bills, these bipartisan bills, they're this thick.
Yeah, nobody reads them.
What? They're omnibus bills. It's not a bill for a thing. It's here's 20 things you want, and here's 20 things we want.
Yep.
And they put them in these massive fucking documents that fuck everybody over.
Yeah.
Like, nobody really wants any of this shit, but it gives you a little something and me a little something. They need to have a separate bill for everything.
Yeah. On page 1127 was the $427,000 that we're going to spend this year on discovering the flow rate of ketchup.
Right? Do you remember when was it Hunt's that put out the...
I'm going back for the second.
Dude. I'm telling you. It gives it a little edge.
Just
enough. Not that it's a bad beer. You don't need anything.
I know.
It just spruces it up a little bit.
French fries with ketchup.
There you go.
You can eat them without,
I'll
and
eat
they're pretty
french fry
fucking
without
good.
ketchup.
But when you put ketchup on them,
And maybe even a
are they
little-
better? Nope. But they're good.
You could say they're better. A little spicy ketchup. I like, who makes that spicy ketchup?
Whataburger.
Whataburger, yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah,
they're
Whataburger.
spicy ketchup. My kids have such a fear of hot stuff. Like and they're also young, but they haven't built up those calluses yet to the heat, you know?
Like just hot food.
Just hot food, yeah. Like jalapeno, none of that stuff. So, like, somebody accidentally had put some... Because the spicy ketchup and the regular ketchup, the only difference is the coloring.
Yes.
And somebody had
Black and red.
Yeah, the black and the red. Somebody had put some spice. I think it might have been my wife. Had accidentally put some spicy on whatever she was eating, and was really surprised at how good it was. I was like, "What do you think it was gonna knock your head off?" I mean, it's not like
Yeah.
5-alarm fire. It's just got a little bit of heat to it. Just a little hint. I like a little spice.
Yeah, me too.
We went to Have you ever eaten at Patrick's lately? In Springdale?
In Sonora.
No, the Springdale Burger.
Oh,
joint, right on Elm
yeah,
Springs.
yeah.
I hadn't been there forever.
I haven't been there in
That place
15 years.
Kills. Took Theo there last week. Man, some of the best burgers you'll ever have.
Really?
There's just no mom and pops around anymore. Yeah, I was off last week, so I started my new job this week. So
How's that going?
so far so good.
Good.
We'll see. First couple days all orientation, which is disorienting. We'll see. But no, we went to Patrick's. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. But God damn, I just had not had just a homemade mom and pop burger like that.
I can remember the last time I was there. It's literally been 10 plus years
It had probably been about
since
10
I've been there. And I remember last time I went, I was like, I can't believe I got all this for $6 or whatever it was at the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're still affordable.
Yeah.
I'd met my dad for some reason, and it was probably 10 years ago. And I want to say I saw Stillwell there. So it would have been one of the last times I'd seen him before we started the podcast. But anyway, place was phenomenal. That's one thing that sucks about living in a growing area is that all your mom and pops go out of business.
Yeah.
And get replaced with these chains. Not that I don't like, I like an Olive Garden as much as the next guy, but we had a lot of Italian mom and pops that went under.
The one in Prairie Grove went out. I saw it on Facebook today.
Which one?
The Italian restaurant in Prairie Grove.
No shit. It's done?
Yeah. They haven't been open for maybe less than a year. I saw it on Facebook. Matter of fact, it was like this afternoon about 3 o'clock. I saw that where they were going out of business. They went in where the Mexican joint was.
Yeah. Oh, I know where they were.
Yeah. I never ate there, so I can't speak to the quality of the food.
How many things has that been now? That
So-
building.
Several.
That's like just a rotating. You remember what was that little antique place that was there on the right as you came around the?
Yes.
It had the suit of armor
Yeah.
outside. Do you remember
Yeah.
that?
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember ever having that suit of armor. That was there for 30 years.
I know.
That thing.
It's funny you mention that. So when I was a kid, my dad's mom lived in Prairie Grove. We lived in Winslow. And I can always remember, even like when I was little, I knew as soon as I saw that suit of armor, I was almost to Grandma's house.
Yeah.
She lived over behind
Yep.
the car wash.
Same.
And I was like, as soon as I saw that coat of armor, I knew I was almost to Grandma's
Yep.
house.
Yep, my grandparents lived on Mock Street, just right behind that place when I was little, and then they moved out to, where Vinewood Animal Hospital is.
Yeah.
So they lived
Yeah.
back behind there the last 20 years. But, yeah, there were the tennis courts there.
Mm-hmm.
Are they still there?
Mm-hmm.
My parents used to go play there some. Prairie Grove's managed their situation, I think, better than Farmington has. And maybe they haven't had the influx that Farmington has either.
They're fixing to.
Yeah.
They're fixing to. A lot of those, outside contractors coming in building those 500 lot subdivisions.
That's hitting Prairie Grove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I knew it was just a matter of time. Farmington really started going down in like right after the 2000s. I mean, it's been the last 20 years.
Yeah, there's not been as much growth in Farmington as there has been in Prairie Grove.
And Lincoln, still, other than high school, is still largely intact. For better, for worse.
Yeah.
What's going on with the Winslow school facilities? Do they do anything with those?
Yeah. They turned the old gymnasium and the old cafeteria into like the city rec hall. I don't know.
Did they really?
Yeah.
It's a neat campus. Winslow
Yeah.
always had a
So
cool campus.
they actually had, and which I feel horrible I didn't go, because I was working on the house. But Saturday, they had a big citywide event there to honor the veterans there, and my dad's a veteran.
Yeah.
And I guess they had a big turnout. Like the community itself uses it for community center. That's the word I was looking for earlier. Is they use that now for a community center.
Did you know? I probably asked you this before. Did you know Keith Yingley at all?
Oh yeah, I knew him well.
Did you go
Went
to
to school.
his-
I went to school with all his kids.
Well, I knew you did. Did you go to his?
No, I didn't go to his memorial.
I didn't either. I wanted to. I couldn't get out there that day. I haven't heard about how it was, or hopefully it was good.
All of his kids were younger than me, but
Yeah.
I mean we were still in school together, and in a total population of the
Oh,
school
yeah,
being
sure.
250 people.
Well, you graduated what, 97?
Yeah,
Leslie was 01. I think.
yeah. I was
4
fixing to say
years.
Leslie would have been closest to me. She was 4 or 5 years younger than I was.
Yeah, what a wild man.
Yeah.
That dude is unlike anybody I'd
How'd you know him?
Huh?
How'd you know him?
Leslie and I dated 5 years.
Oh, okay.
So we dated from the time I was about 16 to 21.
Hmm.
So I got to know all those kids pretty well, and
Yeah.
she was going to U of A. I was playing music, and we broke up in I think 01. But yeah, man, Winslow's got a lot of special memories for me.
Yeah.
I always thought that campus was really cool. Her mom lived up there on the hill up there past the school too, at a really cool place.
Keith did not. He lived out in
He lived
Bojacks,
down, yeah.
where you got to pipe the sunshine in.
That's right.
Yeah.
But you know what? That I've never met another guy like that.
Yeah.
Just a man who did not want to be a part of it. But he knew.
There's several people, like back from when I was, well, we'll say 25 years ago, there was a lot more of that in Winslow than there is now. Just people that
Really?
oh yeah. People that just didn't want to have a part of society.
Yeah, no part whatsoever.
They didn't want to have a part of society. They lived out in the Bojacks. You come to town once a month for,
If that.
yeah, gas and sugar and flour and grease, and that was it.
There are not as many of those guys out there now.
I don't think so, no. Not like there used to be.
Yeah, that's sad too in a
Yeah.
way.
Yep.
So where did the Winslow population go? Was it West Fork or Greenland? Or did they get a choice
Like the school,
when the school shut down?
they consolidated with Greenland,
Greenland, okay.
which I'm no Rand McNally, but
No,
you have to
seems
drive
that's a
past
step
West Fork.
beyond West Fork.
Right. I don't. So at the time, the reason they did that is because when they were looking to consolidate, so at the time, I don't know if you remember this, but a lot of schools in Northwest Arkansas had to consolidate. It was state mandated or something. But Winslow was like basically just put out on the auction block.
Yeah,
And
I do remember that.
West Fork said, "We'll take you, but we're going to close your campus. Every student will now come to West Fork."
Right.
Greenland said, "Hey, if you guys want to consolidate with us, we'll leave your campus open for a number of years.
Okay.
And you can continue to use that campus." So St. Paul, we'll take St. Paul for example. St. Paul consolidated with Huntsville,
Okay.
but they kept their campus open.
Okay.
So that was basically like Greenland said, "Hey, we'll leave your campus open, and you can consolidate with us." And so that's the reason that Winslow consolidated with Greenland, is so because they thought they were going to keep their. Well, that didn't last 2 years, and then Greenland said, "No, we're closing the campus. We're going to bus everybody to Greenland." So West Fork said from the word jump, "No, we're shutting that campus
Right.
down. You're all going to come here." And so I was already out of school by the time that happened, but
Yeah, because that was '02, wasn't it?
yes,
I want to say
2002.
because Leslie had graduated, and it
Yep.
was like the year after
Yep.
that.
So both of my two of my younger siblings, they ended up graduating from West Fork.
So they did go to West Fork.
They did go to West Fork
Okay.
because school of choice,
Right.
and my parents at the time chose to go send my younger siblings to West Fork.
Yeah, it's kind of a bummer too that like Farmington plays all these different schools, and like, back then, you had all these small towns. You had Gravett and Gentry, and I knew people from all these small towns: Huntsville, Green Forest, Berryville. It was just a much different scene.
And
Football money is just
I know me and Whitney talked about that. So her son, my girlfriend's son, he plays for West Fork. So like West Fork's conference play is you're not Green Forest, where we it's nowhere
Yeah.
under 2 hour
I know
drive.
it. Farmington's the same way.
This
They're playing
Friday-
different schools.
This Friday we have to drive to Salem, Arkansas. It's 3.5 hour drive.
Yeah.
And
Careful what you wish for.
they're not I mean, I shouldn't say this. The probability speaks to that they're not going to win. Right? I'd rather drive to Fayetteville and watch West Fork get beat than have to drive 3.5 hours to watch West Fork get beat.
Right.
You know? Last Friday night we were in Mansfield. I mean, it's an hour and a half.
Yeah.
An hour and a half drive, 3 hour round trip
Yeah.
to watch them get beat. I mean, I understand playing schools of your, same size.
I know. It was just what I'm saying is it was nice back in the '90s. Is you had all these little schools.
Yeah.
They were just
Yeah.
within
Comparably,
within 30 minutes of each other. Prairie Grove, West Fork, Gravett,
Yeah.
like all those schools. It was nice. And now, I mean, you're playing Valonia, Clarksville, Farmington's playing all these big schools, other places. Wild.
Yep. My little brother, when he played for West Fork, he played football for West Fork, and I can remember they played a game in Marshall, which I mean you can almost hit Louisiana with
Yeah,
rock
you can. Yeah.
when you're in Marshall.
It's really wild to think, too, because Shiloh changed all that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, we were all happy to run the wishbone and, everybody play both ways and running up the middle, and then Shiloh came out here and just embarrassed everybody.
Well, they had provisions that other people don't.
Sure. But, I mean, we had to play them.
Yeah.
Farmington and Prairie Grove had to play them our junior and senior years, and it was embarrassing because the year we played them our junior year, they'd won a state champion. I think it was a 2A state championship. So they moved them up to 3A, if I'm not mistaken, and then beat everybody's ass. I think they kept them in 3A. Because I remember we played 2 games against Shiloh, one there, one in Farmington, and they had these 3 little poles that had these things they'd flip over. Everybody was still running the wide receiver in with the play, and they just had these poles, and that was the play. You looked over, and then you ran it. And so your defense is sucking air by halftime. They're just all day long. And then next thing you know, he goes to Springdale. He wins a state championship there. Then he ends up at Arkansas. But then all these other schools start investing in, I guess, modernizing football. But
You play football?
I did, yeah. 7th through 12th. But
I didn't have the chance.
well, the Winslow didn't even have a ball club, did
So I started kindergarten in 1985.
they? Yeah.
The last year of football at Winslow was 1985.
Is that right?
Yep.
I didn't know they ever had a football team.
Oh yeah. Yeah, there was a state record that I still don't know that has been broken. Elkins played Winslow, and it was the most yards rushing of any high school team ever.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't even want to spit out a number because I don't remember what it was. I think it was like, well, I think it was like 680 yards rushing
In the game? Like
in the
total?
game. Yeah,
That's not unrealistic. That's possible.
I'm gonna look that up because anyway,
Elkins is still kind of feels like Elkins. I don't feel like they've completely crossed over yet. Of course, they're kind of hard to get to. What year would that have been? 80s?
Yeah,
Is it a high school game?
yeah, oh yeah, it was a yeah, it was a high school game.
You ever hear about the play that
It was like it still holds the record. Anyway, Winslow was never good. I want to look this up because I want to know how many yards it was. It was something crazy.
While you're looking that up, I'll tell the story. We were playing Prairie Grove our junior year.
608.
608 yards rushing.
Yeah.
Between the two teams.
No, by one player.
Mm.
By one player.
What?
Yeah, it was one player. John Bunch had 608 yards rushing. Elkins versus Winslow in 1974.
Damn.
And they beat us. Well, they only beat I think the score was 10-25.
With 600 yards rushing?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
John Bunch. It was in 1974.
I grew up in the middle of that Prairie Grove Farmington hatred. And I think they were playing Grab It. But Patrick Absher and the center.
Is that the coach's kid?
Yeah. The center
Well, when you said Absher, I was like, I figured.
Oh, he's still there, isn't he, Coach? Absher's still coaching Prairie Grove?
I don't know.
Pretty sure he is. But the center, Prairie Grove center, picked up the ball and handed it over his shoulder. Said something about there not being a lot of air in the ball. Well, over shoulder snaps are legal. So he stands up, hands the ball over to Absher. Absher walks across the line of scrimmage, holding it out to the.
Oh,
do you remember this?
Yes.
Holding it out to one of the officials. The team's looking over and
then
takes
breaks.
off running. Scores a touchdown. It was Gentry or Gravett. I can't remember which one. But I remember we had the game field and our coaches were just fucking livid, dude. You see the kind of shady bullshit the Prairie Grove team will do. Like, this is just, if that ball comes off the fucking field, man.
October 25th, 1974. John Bunch Jr. ran for 608 yards on 38 carries in a 74-0 victory over Winslow.
Oh, it was 74-9. Where's that guy now?
I'm pretty sure they named the new stadium at Elkins after him.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
He needs to get on the pod. We need to have him on.
So
You sound like you're getting sick. You got that COVID coming on?
no, it's
That's
just
a new variant?
no, it's this time every night.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Allergies? Or?
I don't know. Man, I think I've told you this. I've never had allergies. I'm 45 years old. Never had allergies until I quit smoking cigarettes.
No shit.
Swear to God.
When did you quit smoking?
This coming January will be 2 years.
Okay.
And for the last 2 years, I've battled allergies like I've never experienced in my life.
You know, I wonder about some of that stuff.
I swear to God, Brad, I've never taken an allergy pill. Nothing.
But you still use tobacco.
No,
Well, I guess that's technically not.
that's not tobacco.
That's not tobacco.
Nicotine pouches.
It's nicotine. So it's something in the cigarette, you think,
I don't know.
that could.
I don't know. I've never and the last 2 years since I quit smoking cigarettes, my allergies have been atrocious.
Really?
Yeah.
So you don't do any real tobacco.
No.
It's all that now.
Just the velo.
So I started this new job, so I've been just doing velos, so I'm going there, spitball and everything. It doesn't do it. I can't.
No.
Yeah. It's almost like it's not doing anything. Like by the time lunch comes around, I want to go out to the car and get one. And I don't know if it's a mental thing or not. And maybe it's
I bet it
'cause
is.
I also do the 4.
Oh, yeah.
Those 7s, swallowing those 7s make me a little queasy.
Well,
Maybe I'm a bitch. I don't know. Something about it.
your words, not mine, but I was thinking it.
What flavor is that?
Same.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I don't know. Now, I will say that whether I'm awake or I'm asleep, I have one of them in my mouth.
You sleep with a velo in?
Absolutely.
Do you
That's the
really?
last thing I do when I go to bed.
Pop one of those in.
Yep. And as every morning when my alarm goes off, I wake up, out, in.
But all you do is the 7 milligram velos.
Mm-hmm. And I'm one at a time. One of the guys I work with, he's 2, 3 at a time.
Ooh.
I'm one at a time. But
Brad Phillips shit right there. I remember Brad Phillips used to get a
Oh,
5-finger dip of Copenhagen. He'd get 2 dips out of a can. And they were $4 back then. Copenhagen was like $3.70 something in 1998. And so $2 dips.
What is a can of Copenhagen now?
They're
$12?
They're $10.
Wow.
Because every now and then I'll go in and be a special occasion or something, and I'll be like, let's give me a can of Copenhagen.
Trump won the election.
Can
Copenhagen all
Copenhagen.
day, baby.
I actually haven't gotten one yet. That's a good occasion. But I remember going in, like Max was being born. Like Julia had gone into labor, and I had not had a can of Copenhagen in years. And I was like, all right, get ready. I'm going to go down to the gas station. I'll come back and pick you up. I'll go down there and get a can of Copenhagen. Of course, this is 2010. It was probably $7 or something. And I about passed out, But yeah, it's just something about Copenhagen.
I ain't had a dip of Copenhagen. I couldn't tell you when.
I remember the first time I tried it, I couldn't even keep it in my mouth because everybody's, you start with long cut and that stuff stays together real well.
Yeah.
Then you get that powdery shit in
Yeah.
there. But I remember somebody had gotten a roll that was out of date or something that I had ended up buying, for next to nothing. It was a roll of Copenhagen, so you had 10 cans. And by the time I got through that roll, I was pretty good at keeping it there, and I couldn't dip anything else. I started on wintergreen long cut skull, and then if I ever try going back to it or even smell that stuff now, it makes me want to puke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gives me fucking heartburn.
Man, I've heard that
Oh.
about the wintergreen.
Yeah.
I wonder why that is.
I don't know. Every great once in a while, a couple times a year, I might get a pinch of snuff from somebody. Just 'cause I like spitting.
Yeah.
Me and Calvert sometimes get old pouch of long leaf when we're fishing.
Yeah.
Old Taylor's Pride or
I ain't
something.
done any long leaf in 25 years. Are you planning a hunting trip this year?
Yeah. We're going to South Dakota in December to go pheasant hunting.
Are you?
We
You
do
and
that.
Jeff? Or
Yeah. Well, there's several of us going. I think there's 6 or 7 of us going.
Gary go on any of those still? He
Yeah,
still go
Gary
hog
goes.
hunting?
Gary goes on this pheasant hunting trip with us.
Does he?
Yeah. We got some friends that live up in South Dakota, and we go stay with them in their house. There's usually 6 dudes roll up in there and stay in their house. They got a big ass basement. It's the size of your shop here, and pool tables, full bar. Like we fucking party
Yeah.
for 4 or 5 days because you can't hunt pheasants. You can't start hunting pheasants till 10 a.m.
Is that right?
Which
so you
for
get to
the-
sleep in.
For the drinker,
yeah.
it's fucking
That's
perfect.
perfect.
Yeah, you roll out of bed about 9 o'clock.
Yeah. Get you a little shower.
Yeah.
Wake
You know,
up.
4 ibuprofen, a green Gatorade. By 10 o'clock, you ride as rain.
See, I could get along with that kind of hunting.
Yeah.
That 3:30, 4 a.m. shit. My grandpa always had to be out there before the damn cock could crow. You know, the first buck I killed was one of those nights I slept in. I was like, fuck, let them all go to their stands. I'd had a few drinks. I was like, I'm going to just get up and go down there whenever. And I did, and it worked out. You know, I don't know. I'd love to see the numbers on that.
So this last weekend was opening our rifle season, and we had to go to a ball game at Mansfield, so we didn't get home till like damn near midnight. Well, my alarm was set for 4:30 because it's opening day of rifle season. I'm going deer hunting. 4:30, that alarm goes off. I shut it off. I was like, I'm not going hunting.
Yeah.
Not doing it. Not doing it. Going back to sleep.
Yeah.
So I laid there. Toss, turn.
Yeah.
Reached over, looked at my phone. It's 5 o'clock. I mean, I'm still awake for 30 minutes later.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm going back to sleep. So at 5:30, when I still haven't got back to sleep, I was like, okay, we're up. We're doing it. So then probably killed one of the bigger, probably the second biggest buck I've ever killed in my life.
Really?
Saturday morning. Yeah. I was late to the stand.
Yeah.
Late getting in my deer stand. I'd have been there, an hour before
Yeah.
under normal circumstances. But
You get them mounted?
no. Fuck no, dude. It's $800 for a shoulder mount nowadays.
Is it really?
Yes, sir.
Stop.
Yes. Nah, I swear to God. Look it up. Google it.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah, $800 to get one shoulder mounted.
Whew.
So, said, nope, those sawzall. Just cut the horns off of it.
Yeah.
Which I feel kind of stupid because one of the guys I work with, and I'd forgot about this until the following Monday morning when they were talking about it at work. One of the guys I work with does European mounts.
Which is what?
Where he boils the head, boils all the meat out of it, and you leave the horns attached to and then he bleaches the skull.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah, so you have the skull attached to the horns, and he puts it on a plaque, whatever.
Yeah.
I forgot. I completely forgot about that.
How much can you get that done for?
$100.
That's the way to go.
I know. I feel stupid for not having it done. I
shit.
I completely forgot about
I'm
it.
glad you told me.
Yep.
That's the way to go.
Yeah. So I wish I would have done that, but no, I took the old sawzall and just cut them off.
Yeah. How many pounds of meat can you get off of?
A lot. I was shocked when I picked mine up from the.
Hold on a second.
Uh-oh, Mama's calling.
Hello?
Did you fuck up?
No, not yet. I put it in the oven like she asked me to.
Forgot to turn it on.
No, it's on.
Hunting trip's December the 4th.
December 4th. And what are y'all hunting?
Pheasant. Yep.
Just pheasant?
Yeah, just
That's
pheasant. Yep, that's it.
So what's a pheasant hunt like?
Oh.
I've been pheasant hunting.
Brad,
I've been lots of bird hunting, but not pheasant.
have you ever been quail hunting?
Once.
Kind of similar.
Okay.
Only they're considerably bigger. I love pheasant hunting.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Yeah, quite a bit bigger.
So much fun. It's
So it's kind of like a quail hunt?
kind of, yeah, very similar. You hunt them the same way.
Yeah.
Right? You're just hunting thick, cover.
Yeah.
But the thing about pheasant hunting is you can take 20,000 steps in a day. And it could be that next one.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, you walk a lot, obviously. Yeah. But you never know when that next step is going to be when that big rooster pheasant gets up front. I love pheasant hunting.
And it's just a matter of jumping them and...
Yep. Just walking them up. Walking them up. I love pheasant hunting.
How is pheasant meat? I've never even eaten pheasant.
Everybody compares everything to chicken.
Yeah.
The texture is the same as chicken. It's a little darker.
Yeah.
I took some last year. We killed some first day last year. And when we were at our friend's house, and I took some pheasant breasts, sliced it up thin, put it in a bag, put some seasoning, a little bit of oil in it, let it set for a few days. Then I cooked it on he's got a flat top griddle like a Blackstone. Cooked it up. It was exactly like any chicken fajita meat you've ever had in your life.
No shit.
It was so good. Yeah.
So it's more chicken than turkey?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's more chicken than turkey.
Okay.
A little bit darker in color.
Yeah.
Texture is exactly the same as chicken.
Do you mount pheasants? The people do it. I've seen some pheasants.
I've got one mounted.
Have you ever done one?
Yeah, I've got one. I've got one mounted. I killed
Beautiful
one.
looking mount.
Oh, they're a beautiful bird. Beautiful bird.
Yeah.
The colors on those are just like it's like otherworldly. The way that the pheasant color is, it's like iridescent, and it's like just the way the colors all blend together. They're a beautiful bird.
Yeah.
Beautiful bird, even though they're not native to the United States.
I was going to ask what their native regions were. So they're not
China.
native here at all.
Mm-mm.
Where are they from?
China.
Really?
Yeah, they're originally from China.
So how'd they get over here?
A boat, I'm guessing.
I would imagine, but was there like a time period?
I don't know. I really don't.
Hmm.
I don't know when they even came here, but
China's got a lot of invasive species over here, especially a lot of fish down in Florida. They just fucking take over these swamps and
so I've heard. So since you brought that up, the tilapia in the state of Texas, if you catch a tilapia while fishing and you put it in a live well, and a game warden finds you, you're getting a ticket.
Trouble?
Yep. Now, you can gut it and then put it in the live well, but if they catch you with a live tilapia in your live well, you're getting a ticket.
Really?
That way you can't go take it somewhere else and put it in another body of water.
Sure.
Because they're an invasive species.
Yep.
So I've always heard that. I guess that's only in Texas, though. Because they do have several lakes down there in Texas that are full of tilapia. They say they're really hard on, the native fish.
That's wild, isn't it? You're just animals from different parts of the planet that'll just take over.
Well, it's like the hogs in Arkansas.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you ever seen what a hog can do to a field?
Oh, yeah.
They're
It's
terrible.
insane. Yeah, are they doing a lot of that in Arkansas now?
Well,
The hog hunting? Like wild hog? Are they?
oh yeah,
'Cause I
I've
know
killed
a
several
lot of people
here.
go to Texas to do it, but like, is there a
Oh.
lot of that in Arkansas?
Not with the helicopters.
Well, that's what I mean.
Oh no,
Can
not
you
with
do
the
that shit
helicopter.
here now? You
I
can't?
doubt it.
Okay.
No, there's too much ground cover here.
Yeah.
Like they don't have the wide open spaces.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. But the hogs are here.
Oh, absolutely.
You just can't get to them like that. I've always wanted to do that kind of helicopter hog hunt.
I mean, Calvert's farm out there in Prairie Grove covered up with them.
Is it really?
Covered up with hogs.
Because that's good eating too.
It
Is it not? I mean, it's
depends
pork,
on the
ain't it?
circumstance.
Okay, well, explain that to me.
So, if you get a female
Mhm.
wild pig, 100 pounds or so, delicious.
Yeah,
You get an old boar that's north of 150,
yeah.
and you shoot him and he runs. Oh yeah, me and Calvert killed one time, and it was a big boar pig, like big boar hog.
Yeah.
And we shot that thing. We jumped him out of his bed. We both had our AR-15s, and we're just pumping this thing full of lead. And we chased this pig. I mean, we're shooting it all the whole way.
Right?
And we chased this pig, and finally, that boar hog, he had enough. It was fight or flight. Well, he turned and was like charging at Calvert. And I'm standing behind Calvert, and it's like I seen what was going on, so I stepped over one side,
Right.
like because if we're fixing to go to war here with this
Yeah,
pig, with this
yeah.
boar hog, and anyway, Calvert shoots this thing at like 4 steps. I'm just charging him, and he just domes it, hits it in the
Right.
head. We take it back. We're like, because we had it and we had 3 more that we'd shot that day. We're gonna skin them all out. That boar pig stunk so bad when we skinned it that
Really?
after we got the hide jerked off of it, it was like there's no way you could have cooked it. No way.
Really?
Because we ran him. The adrenaline gets pumping.
Yeah.
and
it
that
just
thing
poisons
stunk
that
so
meat.
bad. He had 9 bullet holes in him.
God.
In the body, not plus the one. So I guess he had 10. That son of a bitch had took 9 shots to the body, and was still like, you know what? I'm still trying to kill you.
Yeah.
When Calvert got him
Is
in
that
the.
what it is? The adrenaline?
I'm assuming.
Poisons the
I don't
meat
know.
somehow?
That thing stunk so bad. But now we've killed.
Ew.
We've shot 70 to 100-pound females when they're not, and then kill them dead. skin them out. Don't run them. Skin them out. Gut them out. Put them on the smoker whole. Oh, delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And if you
not
get
that
one,
old.
if you can get a wild hog that's about the size of a raccoon, those are the best.
Yeah.
We call them bacon bits.
Okay.
Those little baby
Yeah.
pigs.
Yeah.
Calvert shot 2 of them down there one time. Shot both of them at the same exact time with a 9mm pistol. Two baby pigs, one shot.
Nice.
We took them back. We skinned them out. I mean, they're seriously the size of a house cat, raccoon. I mean, they're little.
Yeah.
Skin them out. We just buttered them, seasoned them up, wrapped the whole thing in foil.
whole thing.
Oh, you take them out of the foil off the smoker after about 4 to 6 hours.
Yeah.
You just take that old bone and give it a wiggle, and the meat just goes.
Yeah, it just falls right off
Yeah.
it. Well,
Yep.
that does sound nice.
Yeah.
What is it you love so much about hunting?
Oh, I don't know.
'Cause that's just one of those things
It's just.
I just never had take hold of me, and you guys still love it so
Oh,
much.
yeah,
I see
man.
the way y'all talk about it.
We do. I mean, if it walks, flies, swims, or crawls, we hunt it, catch
Yeah.
it, and kill it and eat it. I don't know why I like it so much.
I mean, I can get the appeal. I mean, you're out with your buddies, you're out in nature. Is it that?
I don't
Or
know.
is it the adrenaline? Is it that moment of the kill?
I mean, it doesn't have it doesn't have anything to do with the actual act of
The actual
killing.
kill, right.
I don't have a bloodthirst.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah. Well, nobody I know seems to have that. It's all about the experience.
It's
but
about the
not about the kill.
experience.
It's about enjoying the time out. It seems like
I mean, I guess it depends on what you're talking about, because
sure.
every species has a different attribute that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
So, like, we'll take deer hunting this year, for example.
Yeah.
I've spent days and hours and hours and hours in that deer stand by myself, just watching deer, and I really enjoy that solitude. It's a time where
It's meditative.
it's meditative. That's my time, and I'm only focused at the task at hand, where I'm not thinking about this house that we're building.
Sure.
I'm not thinking about I need to rotate the tires on my truck. I'm not
Right.
thinking about anything else other than I'm just sitting in this tree stand waiting on that deer to come through.
Yeah.
But then on the other hand, when we go pheasant hunting, it's the camaraderie, because there's 6 to 9 of us that are all loaded in these trucks, and we're out there, we're walking, we're getting a plan to walk this field, and we're drinking beer, and you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
so. I can't just name one thing that I enjoy about hunting, because I like the solitude of deer hunting, but I also love the camaraderie
Yeah.
and the guys' time
Yeah.
of hunting pheasants.
It's a masculine endeavor.
Yeah,
That's how we used to live. It's what we used to have to do to survive.
and I like eating it. I mean,
yeah, sure.
I really do.
Yeah.
We went camping a few weeks ago, and that I took a whole bunch of deer meat, made up deer tacos, and everybody in our camping party had deer tacos that night. You know what I mean? I enjoy eating.
How do you season your deer taco? So cooking game's pretty tough as it is, but if you're going into a taco situation, because I have not quite perfected the deer taco, what's your strategy there?
Exactly the way you do beef.
Really?
Yeah, exactly the same.
You don't do anything different?
Mm-mm. I don't do anything different.
That shit is so lean, though. That deer burger?
I mean, I did put a little pat of butter on it, but
Put a little butter in it.
That's
Maybe
what
that. It
but-
just it dries out for me, and maybe butter would help.
I use a little pat of butter.
Yeah.
I mean, in my experience, I literally use deer meat exactly the same as I would beef.
Your family used to eating deer though? Because if you're not used to eating deer,
Well, that's a
Julia didn't grow up
that's a
eating deer.
whole nother topic.
Yeah, it kind of is. Because my wife didn't grow up eating deer, so
So
she's very sensitive to that gamey.
I didn't deer hunt for a lot of years. I literally just got back into deer hunting in the last 3 years. Now, if you'll remember, I told you I lived in this subdivision for the last 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a correlation there. My ex-wife hated deer meat, wouldn't let me cook deer meat in the house.
Really?
So I just quit deer hunting.
Hmm.
So now that I'm back on my own, and my partner now loves deer meat, so that's why I'm back into deer hunting now.
She go hunting at all?
No. Nope. She doesn't go hunting at all. But she likes to eat deer meat. So, to your question, does my family eat deer meat? Yes. Now, my kids will eat it. My kids will eat it. The twins will eat it. If I cook it. But, well, as a matter of fact, I took my son some ground meat here a while back, and he made tacos on his own out of it.
Really?
So, yeah, he'll.
Somebody was on the pod recently, and I was asking him kind of the same question. He's got a gal that likes to do hunting and fishing too, but I was like, what is it about getting out there? And it's like getting away from her. I want to get out. I want to get out and just have some guy time. I'm not saying this is your thing, but I'm saying for some people,
Yeah.
it's just
That's
getting out and being by themselves.
That's not me. And as a matter of fact, I actually said that to Whitney the other day. I was like, I wish you'd go deer hunting with me.
Yeah.
Because it's such an enjoyment to me, and she's such a big part of my life. It's like I want to share that experience with you, but she's not about
I
it.
see both sides of it. I'd get more into hunting if my kids wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Like if they were interested in hunting, I could definitely see myself getting into it. But I can also see the guy who just wants to get away and just have some alone time, just out and quiet. Because it's other than drive time, which drive time isn't the like I remember being young and just liking to drive just because it was peaceful, But it ain't peaceful driving around here anymore.
It's not peaceful
Unless
like
you're out
sitting in
here.
a deer stand.
No.
I'm just saying driving is not as peaceful as sitting in a deer stand when you're just sitting there.
I mean, if you're out just driving county roads,
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
out, just driving around. There's nowhere to drive anymore.
No. Nah, there is.
There
but
is.
It's a drive to get to
But
that
you got to
drive.
drive to get there. It's like, shit. I've got some spots I can go right out of here, and go around and get out. But eventually you're going to have to cross through construction and traffic somewhere. I mean, everywhere there's something going on. It's not like it used to be where you just go for a whole afternoon and not see another car on the fucking road. So I get that aspect of it too, just wanting to get away. Because that was one of the things I did like the most about hunting and even mowing. I miss mowing too, because the boys are mowing now. But I miss just getting out of that mower and just, it's a simple task and you can just kind of think.
I hate mowing.
Really?
I always hated it.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You like hunting but not mowing.
I know.
See,
I hated mowing.
See, that was one of the things I liked about hunting, was just being away from any of the stress. It wasn't even necessarily about the hunt so much as nobody can call me out here. Nobody can disturb this. I'm out here. That's it.
I went on a hunt last year with one of my coworkers, and we went to the Buffalo River. So, over at the Buffalo River, there's the wilderness area.
Mm-hmm.
And we picked two.
The state park?
Well, it's national forest.
Or national forest.
It's national forest.
National.
But it's a wilderness area.
Yeah.
Which means you can't have any motorized vehicles in there.
Yeah, I know you couldn't ride on it and shit.
Yeah. So we put the canoe in. We took a canoe. We put a canoe in, and it was like 7.5 miles from point A to point B. We stopped around the 3.5 mile mark. We set up a tent. And this was opening day of deer season last year, and we just stayed in that tent for 3 days. Zero. There's no cell service.
Yeah.
And for 3 straight days, I know this won't sound important to you, but I'll never forget this. For 3 straight days, I never heard an engine. I never heard anything other than just what was out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, do you understand what I'm saying?
Important to me.
Like, we were in the middle of freaking nowhere. There's no roads. There's no cars. We floated in there by a canoe.
Yeah.
And we set up camp, and we hunted for 3 days, and I never heard anything other than what was right there.
Yeah.
And it was a very, very cool experience.
I get it, man.
Because when you're out there, like, if something bad would have happened, you know, if one of us would have got injured, your only option is to get in that canoe and float 4 miles down the river.
Or fucking airlift.
That's
there's
it.
no phones to call anybody.
No, you couldn't call anybody. There was no phone service. And in our modern society, I'll be honest with you, it was a little bit weird to me to think that the way everybody's attached to their cell phone. That became absolutely useless to me for 3 days.
Yeah.
It was absolutely useless.
But there's something nice in that.
I loved it.
It was great.
Loved it.
You know, I think I'll go to hang out with people who live in subdivisions, and like I'll see cars going by out the door if they got a glass door or something. I'm like, who's that? Because when you're in the country, you got one way in and one way out, and even your neighbors will be like, hey, who's coming up your driveway? Like who's in the vicinity? You know, it's a very everybody's watching out for each other. You know, but when you're like in a subdivision, like I get real anxious, even just hanging out, because there's so much activity outside going on, and so many noises and sounds. Because when you're out here, if you hear something, like it's a specific thing.
Yeah.
You know, something's going on somewhere. I get really anxious because we've been out here 10 years now, and it's really weird for me, even to go to my parents' house. Because, like, when my parents, so we live directly across from the Farmington High School.
Okay.
Blue Sky Road there, which used to be outside city limits, right? So, I mean, there was a few houses down there when they first built that. Well, now the land has gotten chopped up a little bit more, and there's more sales, and I'll be sitting in there, and I'll see cars, which I think are coming down their driveway, but it's the neighbor's driveway, you know, and I'm just always like, who is everybody? Because I'm in that, you know, I'm up here on a hill by myself.
Yeah.
And you're just always looking, or somebody will tell you so-and-so's coming up the driveway. And it's weird for me to be in a space like a subdivision now.
How much ground do you have here?
It's just under 20 acres.
20, yeah.
But we're flanked on either side by two 20-acre lots owned by the same guy.
Okay.
So James Spears is in his late 70s, and I'm really concerned about, because he's out there. You'll be driving through here in July. It'd be 100 degrees outside, and he's out calving, you know, just out working.
Yeah.
You know, and he's dropped a lot of wisdom on me. I've asked him a lot of times, like, when are you gonna retire and stop doing all this? And he's like, you know, when you get into your 70s, he said, I've lost a lot of friends who have stopped having a purpose. And when you stop having a purpose at this age, you die. You got to have something to focus on.
Yeah.
Especially when you lose a spouse.
Mm.
And he had just lost his spouse. And so it's like, I need to stay busy all the time. Because he won't even charge me for stuff. I'll ask him, you know, like, I'll have him, like, brush hog my fields and stuff, and he won't take any money. Because he needs to be working. He needs stuff to do. And he's lost a lot of friends who just get to a point where they don't have anything to do, and they just fade away. You don't want to be that guy. And it's pretty powerful wisdom to hear from somebody who's like, you just got to keep moving. Because I've had family members just roll over and die.
Yeah.
You know, like when my grandpa lost my grandma, you know, just got steadily worse.
Right.
Over
You see that a lot.
He had nobody to take care of anymore. He had nobody to really, you know, live with anymore. I mean, you go from raising a family and being married, and then your spouse is gone. and your kids are all grown, and you've got grandkids. I mean, you could throw yourself into that pretty easily, but you got to do something. Because if you're just up by yourself all day, every day, with no purpose,
I use that as a retreat. Right, that's where I'm. That's what we just talked about.
that's what balance is all about.
Right,
I mean, those things are nice.
Right, I just use that as a retreat right now to sit in that deer
Sure.
stand by myself with nothing absolutely.
Absolutely.
But
could you do that every day, all
No.
day? No,
mm-mm.
you'd waste away.
Yeah.
And the older you get, especially, you got kids who are 21 now. Mine are. I've still got one that's 9, but I wonder, you want to stay involved. You want to be. You obviously probably still want to be a part of your kids' lives, even though they're grown and gone. You want to be involved in that.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that's probably good for a lot of people going through empty nests, especially if they're having grandkids and staying involved. But you get up to in your 70s when your grandkids are grown and they got families and everybody you knew and loved and grew up with is gone.
Yeah.
It's a lonely place. I fear that place.
Do you?
Yeah. I fear being old.
You got a while.
And lonely. I hope so. But at the same time, you never know, man. The shit in our food's killing us now. Causing cancer. That's one thing I loved about RFK so much.
I was fixing to say the same thing. Like I've seen some documents, or not documents, but videos on what he's proposing. It's not a bad idea.
Not a bad idea at all, man.
Not a bad idea.
If you can't get behind wanting to make America healthy, because right now it's kind of embarrassing. Myself included, I'm not in good shape.
I'm not either.
I don't even make a goal to exercise once a week.
No.
Now my kids are young and we play football in the backyard and I'll get out there and scramble and run some routes with them, But when they're gone, this can be pure calorie intake and no expenditure. Right now I can get out and, my little one loves to jump on the trampoline. As soon as I get home, he's wanting to jump. So I'll get in some exercise with them while they're young, especially when it's nice out. But can you imagine?
I know I found myself here recently be like, I'm not eating bread for lunch. I'm just not. I just feel too bloated. And I know, you know what I mean? And it's like, who the fuck are you, dude? I remember the kid that used to go to McDonald's and order 4 Big Macs at a time.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, now I'm scared to eat a sandwich because I don't want the bread.
I know. What bitches we've become.
I know.
I won't stoop so low as to use Nicole's new found F word, but she came a long way, didn't
Yeah.
You were on, that's so funny that you were on that first pod where she censored you.
Yeah, where she censored you.
That was so funny. Because I remember listening to that back thinking, no, she's not going to do it. It's like,
She did it.
she really did it. That's funny. Because, she's on what, season 4?
Yeah.
So she's got 2 episodes out now?
2 episodes, mine and yours, and then the next one where she's...
The Trump hating episode?
The Trump hating episode.
I got to listen to this one.
Yeah. Well, just be prepared. There's the siren. Siren, not
Scott was talking
siren.
about earlier, that was off camera, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't put police siren sound effects in songs or podcasts. Some of us dads don't like it.
Yeah. When you're riding around with Hope and Container. It scared the shit out of me. Not gonna lie, that's why I text her. I was like, don't put the police siren sound effect.
Yeah.
Because it scared the shit out of me.
Well, that's in her.
I don't drive drunk, but sometimes I drive with an open container.
Sure.
And the police siren is not a good welcome sight or welcome sound when you're driving down the road.
No. Well, it's never really a welcome sound.
Well, right.
When do you think we ought to do Durham Fest? When's the best month for that?
I don't know. Last time was hot as fuck.
And that was the June one.
That was
That
June.
was hot.
Yeah.
Last year it was September. Late September. It was about right.
It's still hot. We're November.
The thing is, in Arkansas, you got like 2 weeks in the year where it's not
Yeah.
too hot or too cold. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe early May.
You think right?
Mid-May. Mid-May.
You think it's better? Fall's so damn busy. Like, I'd rather do it in fall, but you got football and
Yeah.
all this shit. Now, Gary and I were both coaching last year.
Yeah.
Or no, excuse me. He was coaching last year. I was coaching this year, football. I don't know when the best time to do it is. It's either got to be real early spring
Yeah.
or real...
But then you run the risk of it being cold too, so.
Or raining.
Yeah. Or raining.
There's a spot over here on Double Springs that's they've got a pavilion for rent. So I'm not calling them up. I don't know. Gary may not mind the host. If he doesn't mind it, I would do it there again.
Yeah, that worked out pretty
I
good.
thought it worked out fine. What songs would you want to cover? Like, as somebody who plays harmonica for Durham Fest 3, if you got to pick like a couple of tunes that you wanted to play, what would you want to play?
I'll be honest with you, Eastbound and Down is my favorite.
Is it?
That's my favorite. That is
I have
my
a lot of people tell
absolute.
me that is their
That is
favorite.
my absolute favorite.
Yeah, we got to keep that one around. What's so weird to me is that
And that Black Crow song is fun to play too for me.
we're just down to the one Crows tune. What are we doing now? Hard to handle?
Hard to handle.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We used to do Remedy. I don't know if we ever did it with you. It always surprised me, though, that you had only done the one show. It felt like we had done several. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because we did do Nathan's wedding. You and I, at least.
Yeah.
And have
Me and
done
you and a
some-
ball of Fireball.
Did we have some Fireball?
Really? When we played Nathan's wedding?
I remember we drank. I don't
Oh
remember
shit!
what it was.
It was Fireball.
I remember us getting intoxicated.
Yeah. The Honeybee. I don't even remember what that song was called. It was something about
Yeah, I think it was called Honeybee.
not the Blake Shelton Honeybee.
Dun 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 dun. Wasn't it kind of like that kind of?
Fuck. I don't even remember.
I don't know. I don't even think Nathan remembers us playing it. I don't think he remembered that we were there. Well, Durham Season 3, Durham Fest 3, definitely going to happen. You'll definitely be a part of it. We're going to wrap it up. As always, when's the hunting trip?
December the 6th.
December 6th.
Going to South Dakota.
South Dakota. and
Pierre, South Dakota.
that's Pierre, and that's a pheasant hunt.
Yep. Yep.
You going to be bringing some back?
Oh,
I'd like to try some.
I'll bring you some.
Let's do a
I had some in the freezer till a few weeks ago, and I made a big pot of gumbo with pheasant and quail.
pheasant gumbo.
Pheasant and quail gumbo.
Sounds good, dude. Yeah, bring me some back. I'd like
Okay.
to try some pheasant.
Sounds like you got company.
Oh, it's just the family.